analysis, and then feed that back to the training coordinator. The training coordinator say, okay, it can be implemented. If not, why not, and what additional funds or planning needs to be put into the training plan or the training curriculum, and then that will go through. We'll get together as the quality group, the manufacturing engineering group, the plant manager, who's always wants to know how much money you're going to take out of his back pocket, and we get together and say, is it needed? Yes or no? What's the if it is absolutely needed, we don't really have much of a choice. But if it's not needed from a compliance standpoint, what's our return on investment? Does it make sense? Are we going to see a substantial decrease in nonconformances, a substantial decrease in scrap, or a time on product increase? So he wants to see if he can't show a return on investment in that sort of situation, it's probably not going to be implemented into the training plan.
Okay. So when something is implemented in the training plan, it sounds like would those same metrics be used to ensure that he is getting a return on investment? So how do you measure whether or not the return on?
So those metrics are always calculated from so let's say, for example, we start our metrics and we measure throughout the year, and we start in January. We're training all our employees. Come May, there's a change to compliance or a change to the training curriculum. At that point, we bookmark it and we continue to monitor it. We better see a positive increase in those metrics. If there's a scrap reduction, we're going to be able to see that after May, right?
Okay. If
it keeps going up, they're going to say, I just paid X amount of money and I didn't get my bang for my dollar.
Right. Okay. Got it. So just to back up a little bit, you mentioned a welding engineer who would have to go through the code book, and he would, if notice discrepancies or do a gap analysis, and then feed that to the training coordinator. What is your relationship to the training coordinator? Is that someone in your group, or is that some? Go ahead.
Yeah, they're under manufacturing engineering, but they can be under quality depending on the business. It's just in this case at GE, it was under the manufacturing engineering group. But I've seen it in different businesses that it was under quality. But my relationship to that is from a quality standpoint, I'm feeding back the variation that we see on the floor, the variation that we see, the customer complaints, and we're feeding that back to the training coordinator and providing recommendations for training curriculum changes based on all that feedback.
Okay. And so who makes the actual changes to the curriculum?
The training coordinator. He's kind of like he coordinates the training, and he also houses the information because he's going to give the training.
Oh, so that's also the person who does the training.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right? Okay, got it.
Yep.
So in the case of this sort of VR, where they're wearing their welding mask and they have a mock gun, how long had that been in place? Was that relatively new?
It was relatively new. We were right when I was leaving GE. We were pushing hard because we never been AWS compliant in that business, and so we started to want to be AWS compliant, and we pushed for that to say, hey, before hands-on, but after classroom, we want everybody to go through that. There was a bit of a bottleneck though because we only had one machine. And, at one time, there'd be 10 people in the class. So.
Okay, and so there was only this one machine. How did that decision get made in terms of how that machine was brought in? How did you guys hear about it? Who made the decision to go ahead and purchase it?
We have our weld wire manufacturer, which is Lincoln Electric. They also make the welding machines. We have a good relationship with them, and we regularly go to conferences like trade shows. And one of the manufacturing engineers that went down